So it looks like we have our first instance of a book being pulled from publication over allegations of AI usage. At least this is the first instance I'm aware of. This book, Shy Girl, which I think is a horror book, which is so weird given the cover. It looks like a like a teen romance or something. But yeah, so apparently there were allegations that the author used AI to write the book, at least in part, did not disclose that to the publisher, which is Hachette. And the New York Times got involved, and the New York Times is using AI themselves, which is highly ironic. But
yes, it is.
Whatever. And then next thing you know, her book deal gets canceled, and she's like, my name is ruined forever. We're going to talk about this whole situation in terms of like the AI witch hunts, because if she did not use AI and her book deal got canceled, there could be a lawsuit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
not cool.
It's
especially
not
if it's
cool.
not true. I mean, and then it's a reputation issue too.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Just wanted to jump right into it here. I saw this last night, and I'm like, we're going to see this happen a lot. We're already seeing it happen in the art space. Everybody, it's kind of like that Spider-Man meme. They're all pointing at each other. You're using AI. No, you're using AI. We've even got people going back 10, 15 years saying, digital paintings from 10 or 15 years ago are AI generated.
Yes, because the when you run it through to see if it's AI, and it's like it's saying it is, even though it wasn't.
Yeah, so that's the thing too. Like, I mean, there are certain tells, I guess, if you work with it enough, know what to look for. But in the case of art, they have a couple online tools. Like, you can run this art through the filter. It'll tell you if it's AI. I've run my own stuff from 10 or 15 years ago through it, and it said there's like a 70-80% chance it was AI generated. I'm like, bullshit.
So it's ridiculous. It's not able to tell. And but at the end of the day, it's like they're trying to deflect because they're all using it anyway.
So that's where I want to go with this. And we'll talk about the situation. We'll have a bigger discussion on AI. As they're targeting individual, like indie creators, right? And they're going after indie authors and indie creators. We've got major corporations using AI, and then they're just deflecting, and you're just supposed to like, hey, trust me, bro. We're not like Hasbro. People are calling them out for the Magic cards. They're like, these cards are obviously there's some AI being used. And that or the artist is just really bad. And they're like, nope, we're not using it. We're using like Chris Cox is like, I love AI. I use AI for everything. We're using AI to design our toys. But no, we're not using AI to make Magic cards, literally the most profitable thing the company produces right now.
Yes,
right?
We have to do it quickly. But
we have to do it quickly, and we have to crank out tons and tons and tons of art. No, that is
artists they're hiring. They might not, but the artists they're hiring are, and they're as long as they don't get caught, who cares?
My favorite was I can't remember if it was DC or Magic, but I think it was Wizards of the Coast. They hired an artist who had AI artist right on their damn bio. And they're like, oh, we didn't know that they were an AI artist. And it's like, wait, it's kind of like this Swedish penis pump from Austin Powers. It's like, but their name was AI artist 123 on Twitter. Well, we didn't know what that meant. But it says in the bio, AI artist who makes art with AI prompts. Well, you didn't know. It's like, come on. So yeah, this is, we'll go out and take a look at the situation, try and make sense of it. Pop Crave had it. Shy Girl author released a statement after her novel was pulled amid allegations. To the best of my knowledge, they haven't proved it, but I mean, there are some tells, right? There are, that she used AI to write it. This controversy has changed my life in many ways. My mental health is at an all-time low, and my name is ruined for something I didn't even personally do.
Could you imagine though? I mean, let's say she didn't do it. What the hell? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what she is saying is that the editor or copywriter, whatever, that she hired to go over the book before it got sent off used AI tools,
and that's very possible,
to rewrite sections. At least she didn't leave the prompt in. There's somebody else that I guess they had the deal canceled before it was published because they left the damn prompt in the text.
Oh no.
It was like, oh no. But if you send it to an editor, Yeah, they might use something like Grammarly and Grammarly's weird. Like I've tried using Grammarly and it just rewrites shit and it's so like
it doesn't make sense.
It does sometimes it doesn't even make sense. I'm like, that doesn't no, this is exactly what I meant. Don't change it. Or it'll change words. It'll change, you know, I'm like
I usually only use it if it's catching like a spelling mistake or something like that. I when they tell me their suggestions, they usually suck, so I don't even bother.
Yeah. So this is, apparently it's a horror book, which again I don't get that at all from the cover.
The dog
but
doesn't die.
I hope the dog doesn't die, or the dog kills people. I don't know. Mia Ballard. Her name is Mia Ballard. So this is coming from CNET's got a good breakdown of it. When Mia Ballard's self-published novel was picked up last June by Hachette Book Group, she probably thought she just hit the jackpot. Now she might be wishing she'd never been noticed. They canceled the U.S. publication of Ballard's novel Shy Girl following allegations that generative AI was used in its writing. Originally self-published in February of 2025, so was this like an Amazon thing? The horror novel was traditionally released by Hachette science fiction and fantasy label Orbit in the UK in November. After the New York Times provided evidence of AI usage, you go to the article, they said suspected AI usage.
What about the New York Times articles are using AI?
The New York Times is using AI. Yeah, they've actually admitted to they're using it to summarize the news. And they're also, I've read some of their articles. They're totally using it. I mean, maybe the entire article is not generated by AI.
I guess you should cancel them. I guess they should go out of business. I guess they should lose all their credibility immediately.
I know, right? So they canceled the planned spring U.S. release and removed the book from the website completely after, again, allegations. Hachette remains committed to protecting original creative expression and storytelling. Authors are required to disclose whether AI was used in the creation of their work. Ballard has denied using AI tools to write the book, claiming an editor was responsible for the portions that appear to be AI generated.
Which is possible.
That is possible. I mean, it is possible. My name is ruined for something I didn't even personally do, she said to the New York Times.
I mean, I'm assuming she meant the edited version before she self-published it, because if you would go to a book company, you would assume their editors would edit it, not the person she hired. But then my next thing is, if that's the case and it was her editor before they gave her a deal, wasn't that their responsibility to have read it first to make sure that they didn't see something questionable before they gave her a deal?
Yes.
So none of this adds up. Though what I'm saying is, if she hired an editor to self-publish it, because you wouldn't be hiring an editor on your own when you're sending it to their editors, because their editors would be doing that job. So she had to have hired an editor before it got self-published, and that editor might have inserted this stuff, and they didn't read through and check this before they gave her a deal. That would be ultimately on them then.
Yeah. It would be, because they didn't do their due diligence. Here's the thing, like, especially these kinds of books, these like whatever it is, romance, horror, whatever, like YA stuff. I think they publish so much of it and they just crank it out that they're not really paying attention.
But that's their fault. And the thing is, it's like, because then they're the ones who didn't do their due diligence, and now they're costing her a deal. And if she didn't change anything with an editor from the time that she had it published till they got hold of it, because it's their job to edit it, then that's on them, not her.
Let's be honest too. A lot of editors now don't even do the bare minimum.
Again, that's on them, not her, because they had read the work. They just thought, oh, let's cash in on this. If they had read it and had their editors check it, then they would have noticed the problems. But even then, they didn't notice it. It was the New York Times said it was that way. Their own editors didn't catch it. They're like advanced copies out and everything, and they didn't catch it.
Going out to Reddit, they were talking about it a couple of months ago, and so okay, here's where I'm torn. Is it possible it was AI generated in whole or in part? Yes. Is it also possible that Reddit are being a bunch of whiny little bitches and trying to get somebody? Because here's the thing, the publishing space, the mainstream publishing space, is a shit show. People are very competitive. They're looking for every gotcha, every angle they can to get people canceled. I remember a few years ago we talked about this Handbook for Mortals, which was a YA novel, and they figured out, the people behind the book, it was an independent book, they figured out how to game the New York Times bestseller list.
The publishing companies do it all the time.
They do it all the time. But because they were outsiders, they took the book off the list. They had people complaining, and how they got them canceled was, a book written by a black woman would have been number one if it wasn't for this damn book that got more or less cheated to the top of the New York Times.
But guaranteed the other books are cheated too.
Right.
Publishers do it all the time.
Right. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to unpack here, because part of me is like, yeah, why is this particular book being singled out? And does somebody have an axe to grind with her? Is somebody like, who knows? And they might have valid criticisms. It might be partially AI generated, but I'm like, I guarantee you there are a lot of books going out the door right now that are using it to some degree or another, and they're not getting the scrutiny that this one is. And again, it is ultimately their responsibility at the publisher, right, to do their due diligence.
Because this person said they read it this a couple months ago, and they're an editor and they see flags. So again, if that's the case, then why the hell did the publishing company pick it up?
Right.
Because it was already out there. So it wasn't like no one ever saw this before it got released except the publishing company. The publishing company knew what they bought.
Yeah.
They're mad they got caught. Is the publishing company got caught? It's probably mad. Bad about it is what the whole thing is.
Right. And then a YouTuber did a video on it. Then this person, Max Spiro, founder and chief executive of Pangram, ran the text of Shy Girl through his AI detection program. He's the chief executive. He claimed that the novel was 78% AI generated.
And it might have been. It's possible. But I also know that art that I watched Neon draw, and it was digital art from years before AI could even do it, gets registered as 70 to 80% AI generated.
Yes.
It doesn't mean shit necessarily.
Well, here, this is interesting. This is one of the responses. Hi, Max. I've used Pangram, but never flags when I use AI to help tighten things as I write verbosely. I'll send it to an LLM and they clean it up. I'd edit it. They might check if it's good. Try this a couple times. It still says written by a human. Okay, so here's the thing. If you know how to avoid that and basically just tell it not to use all the it tells, it's not accurate though. Like you said with art, there were people that were running 15-year-old Dungeons and Dragons digital art through the AI checker, and it said it was AI generated.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, and so basically, if you want to put things in it to look for that you claim makes it AI generated, so you're skewing the results, you can do that.
Right. I mean,
and vice versa.
Right, and this is like, look, this guy, of course, is going to be like, oh, pay me to tell you it's fake, and people are going to rely on that, and it's going to get to a place where it's not going to matter. Like, I don't care.
I mean, do I know if she did it or not? No.
No.
But do I think that they're making a big deal out of it? Yes.
Yeah. Now, what's really wild to see is that people are so anti-AI. If you go out here, let's see, I retweeted. Hold on. People are going back and changing their Goodreads reviews from 5 stars to 1 star once I found out it was AI generated.
No, I'm confused. I thought they keep saying that AI can't write as well as a human, and AI can't do as great, and AI can't tell stories in the right way. So they can't replace humans for storytelling and everything else because they're just a tool and they can't do that. They say that in one breath, and then the next breath they're saying it was a 5-star book, and unless you knew AI was used, and then it's a 1 star. So that's like opposite of what you're saying. So either AI is to a place where it could write a whole book and trick you into thinking it's per people written and it's a 5-star book, or it can't write worse shit and it's clearly identifiable because it can only do sections but it can't do a coherent book. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like which one is it, guys?
That's just it. Like, you loved it when you know what I'm saying?
Now they stole cover art too, supposedly.
Oh, the cover? I have no idea. I have no idea. So it is kind of interesting though, because there's a whole big thing on Spotify where we didn't cover this, but apparently there was a fake K-pop band. All the songs were AI generated. The images of the idols were generated, and they became so popular that they actually created a real band to go on tour.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
So the lines are good. I mean, here's the thing: the lines are going to get blurred. And more companies are going to use it. And the only reason, honestly, they might have even suspected it internally. The only reason they canceled it is it got so much press.
It got found out.
It got found out.
But again, like I said, this ultimately is the publisher's fault because it can't be both ways. It's either the thing was AI edited and written and all this stuff that you're all complaining about, last year when it was out as a self-published book, because they're all, walking back their reviews from the self-published book part. And if that's the case, then that would have been the publisher's responsibility to catch it. So no matter how I'm looking at this, the publisher didn't do their job, and now they're letting the author take the shit. Or the publisher knew, and they were fine with it and they're letting other people through with it unless they get caught.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think
the publisher's ultimately the bad guy here, if you ask me. But,
we're going to see a lot more of this, and it's going to be very interesting, again, once Hollywood throws in 100% on AI, which they're already doing. At what point do you say, well, we won't buy this thing because computers were involved? I'm like, well, computers are already involved in everything, right? So, I don't know. We're going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.